Join us on Now We Consume. Take in the knowledge, take in the laughs, indulge in the topics with us. The Now We Consume podcast will take you through the parts of your day you normally dread. Why suffer through the existential crisis of life alone when you can do it with us? And now we consume.
This is not meant to be a conspiracy episode or podcast, but we may cover some topics that dance that line like a toddler dances on their mother's last nerve. This podcast is rated I, for immature audiences only.
If you've ever birthed a sharp art masterpiece in a truck stop restroom stall, framed it with your favorite sharp one-ply, and titled it Regret Number 47 with a Sharpie, then get ready for the Jackson Pollock of regret that is the Now We Consume podcast. Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm your host, Gibbs. Oh my God, I did it again. Jesus, I look up and there is Gibbs, puzzled as ever. I'm your host, Pip. I think I'm Pip. I'm your host, Pip, here with my co-hosts, Gibbs and Gibbles. They're both shocked as shit at what just came out of my mouth.
Why the fuck do you carry a Sharpie with you? Why do you carry a Sharpie with you into the bathroom?
Do you not?
No.
Because if you go into a truck stop restroom, you can put your ex's phone number up there with a message that says, "Show me your poop."
No. No.
I have so many questions and I don't want the answer. This is the problem. Are you that fucking person that's writing random people's phone numbers at truck stops and shit? Are you the person?
Are you not?
Just waiting for the call to just really mess with them.
Oh my God. You're the dude. You're the guy. We figured this out. Okay.
That's just one way to handle a very messy breakup. If you separate on, good terms, then I do not recommend it, because then they're going to get random pictures of shit into perpetuity and they have to get a new number. But anyways, this is the Now We Consume podcast, and tonight we are going to cover something that, given last week's little taint tickle from the sun that we got, we're going to talk about loss of the power grid. The day of dark sky, the day of black sky, the power grid going down via an EMP attack or via just grid collapse due to exigent circumstances.
One word.
This is
cannibalism.
Yes. And we have touched on this topic before in our Teotihuacan episode. It was mentioned that I do carry on my phone at all times how to carve up a human body. I will reshare that information later. Gibbs was also referred to as a well-marbled individual. I love that look, buddy.
Just a little S&P.
Shut up, Gibbs. Jesus Christ. I'm just here. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Jesus. The first person in history to ever film a podcast and leave with a sore anus. Oh, Jesus Christ.
So,
oh my God.
Jesus.
This is a bunch of topics that, like I said, given last week's little run-in with the sun, a lot of people don't realize how close humanity really is to the verge of collapse given a major disaster like that. If you go to turn on the power and the power just not only does not turn on, but never turns on again, or maybe not necessarily never, but maybe it's several weeks, several months, there is so much shit that can and will go wrong before everything even starts to go right again. So, Gibbles, before we went on, you were saying something that I want you to go ahead and mention. The timeline.
Refresh my memory?
The timeline to collapse.
Oh, at least a week. After no power for a week, at that point, continuity of government can become an issue because there's no power. And when we say no power, that means everything is fried. You've got no electronics, you've got no radios, you've got no flashlights. We've basically been stepped back to, back to what, the 1930s, pre-1900s. Yeah. So you're going to have a lot of people that are not going to know what to do with something in that situation. And like I said, about a week, society is going to collapse.
Yeah. Now, a little bit of a differentiation here. A grid collapse versus an EMP. If an EMP hits, we are back to the Stone Age. Hands down. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. all electronics, unless they are in specially designed shielded containers, are gone. In a grid down scenario where just the entire power grid collapses and all the power plants are gone and offline, we will still have portable electronics. We'll still have power packs. We'll still have solar panels and power generation devices. So in the grand scheme of things, that's the best worst case scenario that we could hope for, is just the grid down scenario.
Yeah. New York went through that. So
what's that?
Yeah, New York went through that.
Yeah, well, a lot of us have gone through that if you've been in an area where there's a major disaster. Earthquakes, fires, blizzards, the Texas blizzard back in, what was it, 2021? I think it was.
Oh,
where
yeah.
They had no power for a while. Anybody that lives in a hurricane-affected area, they routinely are without power for several days. And they've just kind of learned how to cope. The EMP attack, though, that's the big one, because there are a lot of nation states and even rogue actors that can get a hold of a device strong enough to do it. I think we talked about last season, Iran and Syria have the capability to launch container ship mounted missiles that can hold a payload large enough to take out the entire U.S., and they can get these ships into the Gulf of Mexico. The Gulf of America now, or off the coast of the U.S. And they have demonstrated these launches in the Black Sea, the Caspian Sea, and the Persian Gulf. That is public knowledge now. So these devices can get stuck right off our coasts, and they're going to launch too close for us to be able to do anything about it. And all of a sudden, it's just a silent little lights out. No big boom, no shattering glass, no mushroom cloud. Mm-hmm. We're just driving along the highway one day, the next, your car dies, your cell phone dies, the radio dies, planes start falling out of the sky, possibly. That one I haven't been able to 100% confirm, but newer planes are supposed to be shielded from that. They may be able to land or just crash softly. But
yeah, they're not going to just fall out of the sky. I can't see that.
They'll glide, I believe, but they're not going to like drop in the movies. But they'll glide out of the sky, which is probably even more terrifying. But you're still going to have folks with like pacemakers, people who are dependent on life-saving technology. Then you're going to start getting into the short-term emergency stuff. All communications are down. All traffic stuff is going to be down. If you're out and about, you are now walking to get home, or you're looking for bicycles. A bicycle will be worth your weight in gold at that point. And how many of us over 25 have bicycled, unless you do it as a hobby or a sport or whatever?
That's the one thing we've stressed to our children to do, is learn to ride a bike.
Yes. Yeah. Also, learning directions. That's something I'm going over with my son. He gets lost in our town just when we're out and about. You guys have been down here. It's not a hard town to navigate.
No.
And
trust me, after growing up where I've grown up, that shit's easy. You grow up in my area, and you understand sometimes to go south, you have to go north and west. My roads are fucked up near Boston.
Yeah.
So you guys at least, it's somewhat of a grid. So, it makes sense. You want to go south, you can pretty much just go south.
Yeah, you turn down to go south. That's it. So we've got all this chaos going on. Once people realize what's going on, it's going to be the people who have paid attention, that have their eyes open and their heads on a swivel, that will realize, if in an EMP situation, if the pocket electronics go out, that's when the chaos starts. Because those are the people who are going to know nothing's coming back on at all. But if you're smart and you've paid attention, those are going to be the people to watch for and try to get with. Because they'll probably have at least some things on hand and have prepared. Food.
Emergency backup food, water.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Well, like that previous episode we discussed, we went over a whole having bug out bags and everything else, having your preparations, and everything in check. Biggest piece of advice, just have a plan of action and make sure you can be able to execute that plan, even as something as simple as just having basics in a bag or something else, or at least with your immediate family, whoever you live with. That way people aren't panicking, because sometimes having a plan will keep you from making very dumb decisions. So sometimes
absolutely.
It's not just following the plan, it's keeping you from doing other stupid shit.
100%. And go ahead.
The only thing I wanted to bring up too, I think a lot of people need to understand, even if it's just a grid down scenario, most of the electronics, capacitors, anything else, transformers that are used in America are not made in America, and they require resources from outside the country. So the issue is, even if it's just the best case scenario, if the power goes down nationally, the national grid goes down, it's going to be months, if not years, for us to get all those resources, all those materials, all that equipment, everything else put back together and in place. So regardless if it is that large EMP scenario, even if it's just locally in your, let's just say, county or even state, that's still going to take months, if not possibly years, to get everything fully back up and running. That's not to mention logistics, food, everything else. It's still a major, major issue.
Yeah. So the biggest thing with the EMP attack, getting things back online after that requires replacing thousands of specialized, custom-built high-voltage transformers, along with a lot of complex electronic controls, most of which take 1 to 2 years to replace under normal conditions. They do not keep that stuff on hand here in the States. Almost all of it's made, I believe, in Europe. Some of it, I think, in Japan. Go ahead, Gibbs.
Yeah. I was going to say, if it's something that's made in the U.S., they have shown time and again that if they need to get it done quickly, they can do it. It's just you need the motivation.
Yeah, regionally, they can get small sections as long as it's not like the big power plant stuff that has to get replaced. Substations,
Right.
They can get handled. One piece of a power plant, they can get that handled. But overall, they can't get a whole country back up and running anytime soon. So, you're going to be looking at those first 30 days, and it's going to be pure chaos.
You better get your gun, Bubba.
Yeah. All those states that have strict gun laws and shit are going to be regretting all that real quick. So,
Well, just make sure you guys can focus on being self-sufficient, self-reliant for those 30 to 60 days.
yeah.
Or have a plan to get the hell out of there if it's in a situation that's not advantageous to stay in.
Yeah, if you're in the city, get out.
Yeah. Because the big thing is the EMP doesn't have to be enemy bound. The sun can take us out. It can do the same kind of damage that an EMP can do. So that's why. Go ahead.
I was going to say, back when the United States used Morse code to transmit, information over wire, you had that solar storm that came through, and they said there were sparks coming off the cables. People were getting shocked as they were trying to transmit information for the telegraph and everything. So
yeah, the Carrington event.
Yeah.
1883 or 1886, whatever. Yeah, that was a solar flare with a CME like we've had over the past couple weeks. And it put so much voltage into the atmosphere that, like you said, the telegraph lines were lighting up. Now, if that same level hit today, we would be in some real trouble.
Well, they're like electric companies would be pissed getting free electricity for a little bit.
Oh, yeah. How dare we?
Oh, no.
Now, realistically, the way everything is set up, I think that would probably lead more to a nationwide grid down event versus an EMP. But there would still be some EMP type effects. But we'd still have most of the handheld electronics that would survive at least. So if you have information that you've hoarded as far as like survival information, and you have it downloaded on separate devices and thumb drives, you would still be able to access that at least.
Yeah.
We've always encouraged, self-sufficiency, preparedness, power packs, solar panels, portable devices like Chromebooks that are just for holding information and PDFs and shit, those are going to be worth literal, I don't know, gold would be nothing compared to that kind of information.
Especially the best thing you can do is get some sort of reliable survival guide, print it out, laminate it, have it in a book. That way no one can take that from you, and it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Or like one of those TikTok advertisements about what is that book called that
The Forgotten Apothecary or whatever?
Yeah, something like that, where it's like how to make beer or filter water, just all sorts of random things that people take for granted, that if we lost all electricity and it just didn't come back, you're gonna need some of that kind of information.
Yeah. Yeah, because think about it. Within 3 days, you're going to be dealing with a lack of water flowing through the pipes both ways. So no new water in, no water out, which includes sewage. Fuel pumps, you're not getting gas. If the cars are even still running. Food will be a major issue because just-in-time stocking is how stores operate. Stores typically have 72 hours of stock on hand. So within 72 hours, you're going to be out of food, out of gas, and out of everything you need if you don't have supplies on hand. The average household has about 3 to 5 days of food on hand. That's the average household. I know most of us have a little bit beyond that. We have kids, we have other people that we care for and whatnot, so we keep a little bit more than that. But you're still going to have to figure out real quick what's going to go bad, because if you don't have power, perishables are going to go a hell of a lot faster. All your frozen stuff's going to start to thaw. So yeah, within a week, you're going to be down to the non-perishables.
That's right.
Yeah. Communication. If you don't have backup radios, any kind of way to talk to people besides pen and paper and smoke signals and flags, you're going to be out of luck. Again, grid down. You will have radios, but EMP, no, you're not going to have any of that. Wire phones like the old style could be an eventuality. That book, 1 Second After, I know we've referenced that a few times. That is a definitive guide. It is, fiction. Excuse me. It is fiction, but it is a recommended reading for anybody in Congress and the Senate. So the fact that that's a book that's that high up on the totem pole, great information inside. Generator fuel and batteries will run out within a week. Landlines are not going to be an option because even in EMP, those are done as well. Yeah. Supply chains we've already talked about. So food, water, medicine's going to be a big one. Anyone who relies on any kind of life-saving medication, life maintenance meds. I mean, I'm sorry, but if it's not something that's going to change with health due to lack of food and resources and whatnot, they're not going to be around for much longer.
Yeah.
They can help in other ways, though.
Family like that too.
Yeah. But they can help in other ways after they're gone. I mean, they can feed a family.
Yeah. Oh, time.
Why are you looking at that? Why are you looking at me, Gibbs?
The fact that you're looking at your family members like a 4 for 4 over there.
Hey, if it's survival, you got to look for food where you can. There's a very big line between which animals I'm eating before I start looking at people, though.
I'll be looking for the cuter the better.
You would hope. Oh, so
the cuter animals have been fed well and pampered, so those will have the tenderest meat.
Yes. The same applies for the people. So after the initial 30 days, you can start to look into recovery and stabilization, because after that first month, if you've managed to make it that far, you're going to have dealt with the initial breakdown, all of the psychosis that's going to follow from yourself and civilization, the initial onset of raiders, and then just the madness of the decline and anything short-term that's going to hit. So all the short-term diseases, all the short-term sickness and whatnot, you're going to have gotten through all that within that first month. After that month, the rebuilding and the planning for survival can really start. So you can begin trying to grow crops if you haven't already, trying to gather resources to promote livestock, because by then, hopefully, the worst people are not in the picture at that point. And again, a lot of this is assuming you've been able to make contact with friendly people to get your numbers up, have areas that you can raise them. If you've moved out of the city, you've gotten out of town, and you have access to land.
Yeah.
Excuse me. My God, my throat tonight.
Yeah. I got my compound.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's the all of us are kind of not too bad off at this point.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have no worries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Tofu.
Fuck tofu. No.
The problem is, in an EMP event, I am basically going to be the warlord of my area. That's going to be the problem.
I'm going to be a menace. I hate for my neighbors to find that out, but yes, I will be a menace.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure about my neighborhood. So many people have like really good jobs, and then I'm at the bottom of the hill just looking up like the oblongs. So, you know, I'm the one with the guns, and everybody on top of the hill I'm not so sure about.
Yeah. So, water and sanitation, people are going to have to learn how to dig latrines real quick, because that's a major issue. Disposing of bodies and whatnot is going to be another catastrophic hassle, especially in the cities. I honestly feel what's that?
I was going to say, unless you have like a septic system that doesn't rely on electricity, you know, you could be okay. At least with septic.
If you set one up with a solar panel, if you have access to one to run your stuff. Yeah,
exactly.
Yep. I feel like if you were in a small enough city, you could set up an area like an old sports stadium as just like a body dump, and just let the carrion creatures take care of all of it. I wouldn't want to be anywhere near it, because oh my God, that smell. But yeah, trying to develop some kind of an in-city dump for a lot of things would be probably useful. Transportation, I think most people would probably understand very quickly that short range is about the only thing you're getting. Most people can't walk more than a few miles nowadays, especially loaded down with a pack. So again,
that's where the strongest will survive.
Yeah.
As long as I stay home, I'm okay. If I have to walk a long distance, I'll be one of those that's going to be, I'm screwed.
Yes. You just
I played too hard in life.
You need a rocket powered wheelchair.
Yeah.
What you need is a horse.
Yes.
As a man that grew up with horses, get a horse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or in your case, maybe just a small donkey.
A reversion to late 1800s transportation technology would happen, I think, rather quickly. And people, go ahead.
This is the problem is then the Amish will run the country.
Oh Lord.
Oh yeah.
And then it's basically going to be, what's that fucking show on Amazon with the cap and gowns, religious society they took over. The one blonde girl.
Handmaid's Tale?
Yes. If the Amish run everything, it'll be basically Handmaid's Tale. That'll be horrifying.
But Amish have mafia and stuff, so it won't be too different.
I don't... that TV show, The Amish Mafia, was totally made up.
That's so stupid.
Oh, God, it was horrible.
One of the mafia guys was like a little person or something, so he was like freaking 4 foot tall.
It was hilarious. I watched a few episodes because I just couldn't.
I had to throw that out there. You mentioned the Amish.
Yep.
Honestly, if I get a leprechaun threatening me, I'm really not concerned. I don't care.
You don't even have to waste a freedom seat on that fool.
Nope.
Oh, no. Oh.
That's because I have a better mic.
Again, we edit the volume in post, so not concerned.
Yeah. So technology that people need to keep an eye on, like I said, your everyday stuff, cell phones, computers, depending on the collapse. If it's grid down, you're going to be more okay. Oh, that reminds me, the figures for the fall. I know I put it in here.
Yeah, you have it somewhere in the document.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Deaths.
Nice.
Yeah. For the grid down, it is estimated the restoration timeline. This is the mortality rate estimates out to 1 year, with a restoration timeline of several weeks to 6 months. The initial estimate is low, with less than 5% of the U.S. population. Now, I feel like that's way off. I feel like that's way, way low because it's not taking into account the pure psychotic nature that is the average Walmart shopper.
Oh, yeah.
No,
all the Karens of the country.
Well, here's something else to think about, too. Every year, I thought it was a couple 100,000 people in Europe die from overheating just due to lack of air conditioning, just due to it being hot.
Yeah.
So imagine America, where we're used to things like air conditioning and heat being readily available anywhere. If people go without that for 6 months to a year, there's many places in the country where you aren't going to be able to survive if you don't have other ways to heat your house.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's why a lot of people didn't survive in those areas, because there was nothing to provide an environmental condition that they could survive in.
Yeah.
And even down south where it gets really hot, I mean, there's a lot of people that if it gets too hot, they ain't making it. So I think 5% is that extremely conservative. That'd be 5% due to, I think 5% would be,
I think it's the bare minimum.
4 times that.
Yeah, I think 5% is the bare minimum, maybe even per month. I would be willing to say 5% per month, and I feel like that's even low.
Not to mention all the people that are like need medicine, that are like medically required in order to live. Like,
but outside of that, you're going to have all the people who will realize, oh, the rules no longer apply. The people who are only good because society wants them to be good, and they need to be good because of society. I've said it myself. There are a lot of people who are only alive and roaming around today because of my abject fear of prison sex. Take those restraints off, buddy. I might be a whole different person. I don't know.
It is kind of true, though, for a lot of people. Especially, like, think about the amount of people that have extreme mental disorders that would be unmedicated, roaming freely, no police force, no military, no nothing.
Yeah.
Could be a little scary.
Yeah, well, I mean, for all the officers I knew, the running advice that you ever got from any of the veterans was that You help people on the police department as much as you can. Always. That's your job. However, if the shit hits the fan like that, all rules just went out the window. You take care of yourself, you take care of your family. And at that point, the only people that are going to be sticking around are either the bleeding hearts or the people that just don't have anywhere else to go. Because I always felt that, I have my job and I'll do the best I can, but family comes first. And if things went that way in the District of Columbia, I'd be like, no, I'm not sticking around. Bye.
Oh, yeah. So, if you'll allow me, and I hope to hell this doesn't get the stream hit, I'd like to quote something here.
I'm waiting.
You see, their morals, their code, it's a bad joke. Dropped at the first sign of trouble. They're only as good as the world allows them to be. When the chips are down, these civilized people, they'll eat each other. The Joker, from The Dark Knight.
Oh, yeah. He's right.
Things like that could not ring more true in those types of situations.
Oh, yeah.
So, like I said, that people will only be as good as society allows them to be. And when people are hungry, they will get bad real quick.
Oh,
so
the amount of people, let me just put this out there. The amount of people that have things that go on behind closed doors on a daily basis, you better watch your back when something like this was to happen. And we're talking months of no groceries, none of that. And you've got to fend for yourself. Oh, yeah, you got to watch out. People are horrifying behind closed doors.
I feel like it would be the purge. At some point, I think things would build up to a point. There would essentially be a purge level event, and then it would maybe calm down. Maybe. So.
Yeah.
But it all depends on what kind of scenario it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But definitely just no matter what, if you're in a major city, you don't want to stick around because that even a power out situation, that will take 3 or 4 days and all of a sudden now you're in the purge. 100%. There's no way around it.
Yeah.
It's the purge.
So, so we mentioned about the exigent circumstances. The EMP attack figures are way more grim.
Yeah.
What was it? I bumped my stuff off. I'm sorry. The restoration timeline is estimated 18 months to multiple years. And that's because, as we said, it takes a lot more to get everything handled. The logistics, the sheer scale of everything that has to happen.
You would definitely have tribalism come back. That's for sure.
Oh, 100%. So the mortality estimates for the EMP event, 50 to 90% of the U.S. population. And again, 18 months to several years. And yeah, I think that's a pretty accurate number just because of everything that we've talked about. You're not going to have access to fresh food, fresh water, sanitation. You're not going to have access to the social protection nets that are in place today. Emergency services out the window. Social support. If on the plus side, anybody who's struggling financially will suddenly be thriving.
Oh God! Yeah.
Or at the very least, be on equal footing and potentially be better off. If somebody is struggling financially that just knows how to survive in that type of environment, they will go from bottom of the rung to top tier living very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So, never would have thought that the fall of society would be good for a lot of people.
No, it'll be good for a very, very select few.
Yeah, all of our mortgages will go away.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the mortgage doesn't exist.
Exactly.
Neither will taxes. No more IRS.
Hey, no more taxes. I can get behind that.
They could stop auditing me every year. That'd be amazing. I'm so sick of audits.
Yeah. So, yeah, I wanted to touch on the mortality issue before I got too far into that.
And I think all of us, mind you, something people need to consider too. That is assuming, all of this is assuming that you can come back from an EMP.
Uh-huh.
There is the potential that with how crazy this country is, it might be the case of there is no turning back. Once that switch is flipped, who knows what will happen to the rest of the world? Because even though we don't run the world, we are the cultural and financial hub of everyone else. So it's the case of, sure, maybe if the EMP only affected us and the rest of the world can continue, sure. But, man, that's going to have such a massive ripple effect that you don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
The only other possible thing, which is something else I saw in another debate that I was watching a few weeks ago about this topic, was that the U.S. would be immediately invaded.
No, that wouldn't happen.
No, war game wise, yes, it very likely would.
So
because
this whole discussion is assuming
they would
that
have
we're not invaded.
Right, but they would still have to wait until a good portion of the country kills ourselves. Because as it stands right now, with even if we lost power, I can't foresee the country, getting invaded like tomorrow. Like say the power went out today and next week they got, whoever coming at us. Because whatever happens here, I'm very sure happens there as well.
Well, now hold on. That brings up a good point. A grid down scenario can be localized to just the U.S. Maybe a little bit of Mexico, maybe a little bit of Canada, but it can be more controlled. An EMP can be severely focused depending on how high up the nuke hits. A small nuke 300 kilometers over, I think it's central Kansas, hits the entire U.S., and that's it. Again, a little bit of Mexico, a little bit of Canada. But the rest of the world is fine. Hawaii and Alaska are spared. But mainland U.S., out of the picture. So, yeah, it's entirely feasible for them to let the first few days of chaos flush out the weakest and occupy the biggest resistance, because all the people, all the preppers, the 3%ers, all the people that have done survival stuff their whole life are suddenly going to be more occupied with trying to just stay alive than with trying to defend the country.
Not only that, but even if you have, let's just say, 100 million Americans that are still armed, if there's no organization, there's no military they could beat. There's organized military coming through, especially with things like air support and naval support. No. Yeah. So that whole discussion, it completely changes it.
There's no communications either.
For us, but for them, there would be.
For them, there would be. But we wouldn't know until we see them on our, going through our streets.
But that's
which at that point, if we can see them, that's a problem for them.
True. But it's just a factor of this is assuming that the EMP doesn't happen as part of a war effort.
Right. Which it is highly looked at as a first strike weapon. The countries that can do it, Russia, China, North Korea, several in the Middle East with support, they all consider it an extremely viable first strike option.
Yeah. Though the retaliation on something like that.
Yeah, I don't personally know whether our first and second strike systems can still respond with an EMP. I think the physical assets are still viable, but I don't know that they would still be operational after an EMP attack.
That depends on which piece of equipment you're talking about, though.
Well, like the Minuteman missiles, I think would still be physically functional, but the control systems to launch them, get them out of the silos and whatnot, I don't think they would function. Our submarines would be okay, But any ship docked, I'm trying to remember.
But for EMP blast, how far underground can that go?
That's more dependent on the wires and the wiring of the structure.
Right.
Because that's going across the wires.
Right. Because I'm just trying to think, if we've already gone through a solar storm that fried a bunch of stuff back in the late 1800s, early 1900s. From a military standpoint, I can't imagine. I mean, I know there's some idiots out there, but from a setup of that, I can't imagine there's like no protections on our military equipment for something like that.
Yeah. So as far as protection goes, we can bump ahead into some of that. Did I put the numbers in here or not? I'm going to shoot from the hip on this one. Less than 20% of our grid has been hardened as of 2023 after repeated functions and hearings with all the entities in the government. An executive order in 2019 had a commission get together and come up with a 2-page recommendation to look into hardening our grid.
Yeah, I love it. Look into.
As of 2023, less than 20% of the assets on our grid are hardened against EMP. So we're honestly, fucked.
Yeah, that's honestly less than 20%. That's better than expected. I expected to be exactly 0. So yeah, at least something.
Yeah. And I figure it's probably going to be all of the most critical stuff, like the government bullshit, hospitals, hopefully, your emergency services, I would hope, possibly some national defense stuff. With our luck, it's probably going to be the fucking data centers so that we can still ask Grok what it takes to make, pasta not stick to the fridge. Who knows?
Oh, you mean the same places that are destroying the memory chip market?
Oh, God. Yeah, don't try to buy a computer right now. Or build one.
Yeah, $3,000 for like a mid-level.
Yeah. Right.
So. Oh, where'd we go?
I don't know, sir. Where did we go? I thought I was still here.
So as far as preparedness goes, we talked quite a bit about preparedness in our Teotihuacan episode, and I encourage people to go back and listen to that one because there was a lot of really good information in it. If you have some time, go out online. You can find a lot of free PDFs that you can download and get yourself some information together. Get some basics put together. See what it takes to make a short-term and a long-term survival kit. Doesn't have to be very big. You can get a small tote and just get a few days, a couple weeks worth to start with of non-perishable food. You can go to the store and just find the stuff on clearance that's in cans and whatnot. Make a plan. Doesn't have to be a super in-depth one, but a little bit of a plan goes a long way. So
the way to look at it is all you have to do is outlive your neighbors. Hate to say it, but
yeah, because
a plan that's better than the people around you. In many cases, those people have no plan.
Yeah, it's like when you're trying to when you and a friend are running from a tiger, you don't have to be faster than the tiger. You just have to be faster than your friend.
Yeah.
At that point, I don't think we're friends anymore.
when your neighbors fail, you have not just them, but you have their supplies, whatever they've got.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I bring up the whole eating people thing a lot, just kind of as a joke, but
I don't think it's a joke, buddy. You bring it up enough to where I'm a little concerned.
Right. You call her my house and you're bringing more than S&P. I'm going to be a little worried. We don't eat the chef, but we'll eat the customers.
Yes, that's right. No, like I said, it's a very, very stark line that will have to be crossed before I get to that point. but I'm not going to be against it if it means survival. So
I don't know if I could do cannibalism. I don't know. I really think that's
Right.
I'd rather be stuck doing deer hunting for a few
that's
days.
the other thing. All the game animals will be hunted to extinction very quickly because a lot of people are going to have that plan. They're going to go to places that they can hunt, they can forage. All of that stuff is going to be done very quickly.
Oh yeah, because you're also gonna have idiots out there who be like, I gotta hunt everything every day. Doesn't matter how much I'm bringing in, not thinking about the fact that the meat's gonna spoil, or they're not gonna take the time to prep the animal to possibly let me see. I need to salt it, keep the meat going. So once it does get to a point where it's gonna spoil, let me preserve said animal. They're not gonna do stuff like that. Instead, you're gonna have morons go out there, like you said. They're going to hunt until there's nothing left. Oh, does meat taste funny? Let me throw it away. Just like, what 90% of the Americans do right now. Oh, it doesn't taste very good. Obviously, it must be bad.
Yeah. Our throwaway society mentality is going to bite a lot of people in the ass very quickly.
But wait a minute. There's another alternative here.
What's that?
No one's going to go to the zoo for food. And I want.
Oh yeah, they will. They will.
Oh, bush meat. There we go.
Yeah. So Venezuela, when they were hit with all the food shortages not too long ago, the zoo became a meat market very quickly. That was actually one of the first places they went to.
Those poor animals.
So, on the plus side, you get to taste some exotic things: giraffe, tiger, lion.
Yeah. Might also make it a fun experience, you know.
If you can
find
fight
out what a silverback tastes like.
If you can fight the gorilla, yeah.
I have a gun. I don't have to fight him. Jesus. Same thing like I'll go fishing at the aquarium. I don't give a shit.
Come here, Flipper.
Convince your friend to eat the lionfish.
I don't think that'd be my friend. I did that. That's mean.
I guess
the
lionfish are actually edible once you get their spines off of them, because the spines are where the toxin is held. There's a guy on YouTube that goes around and hunts them, and then he preps them and feeds the local population, like homeless people. It's a really cool thing he does. So he gets rid of invasive species and he feeds people.
Oh,
that's cool.
Man, you have somebody gifts that just they're
I know.
really ragging on you.
It is what it is. It's fine. I feel like that's also like a lot of risk going after a fish like that.
No, because they're docile out in the water.
Yeah, but if you screw up, you kill a homeless man.
Well, that's just an extra meal.
Yeah, I mean that is fair.
Nature giveth, nature taketh away.
Now you're just going to feed more homeless for a while.
Just, meat's back on the menu, boys.
Oh, God, this episode took a turn, didn't it?
Oh,
well,
if you can't laugh about it, you're never gonna learn.
Yep.
I mean, if you don't manage to mention cannibalism at least 4 times in an end of the world discussion, you're not you.
You're not doing it right.
Or you're not taking all angles into account.
Right. So, what the continuity of government plans? Those are a thing that I'm not going to go into them. If you guys want to look into them, you can just look up continuity of government plan. I do encourage you to look up Con Plan 8888. We might end up doing a whole episode on just that, because that right there is actually the government's plan on how to deal with a zombie apocalypse. It is a declassified report that outlines the continuity of government plan for a zombie apocalypse, which I think is hilarious that they actually have that. But it was a war game that was done, and they released all the details because It's nonsense that it's a zombie apocalypse.
Well,
But realistically, if you can prepare for a zombie apocalypse, you literally cover all the angles.
I was going
True.
to say, if it works for that, it works for most anything. At least
Yes.
it has a lot of crossover.
Yes.
You know, but also I think with the way an EMP would happen too, even if the government were to quote unquote survive, they would have almost no power, almost no military.
Right.
So it would be the case of, yeah, it survives, but doesn't fucking do anything. Doesn't mean
Right.
anything. You know, to
There's,
99.999% of the people that are still alive, it would be a myth. You
There's
know?
a show that was on TV for a while called Evolution. It involved essentially a nationwide lack of power. No electronic devices worked. It was technology controlled, but still same kind of premise. It only lasted a season. The ending was rushed and sucked, but the majority of the show overwise, maybe it was a couple of seasons, the majority of the show was really fucking good. And it showed a lot of what would happen in these types of scenarios. The country split up and recongregated into smaller miniature countries within the whole country.
yeah. Not to mention like the parts where they showed like gunfights breaking out all over the place. And it's like, yeah, that about makes sense. All the Americans going bananas because they have guns and now there's nothing holding them back.
Yep. Yeah, again, that's the kind of shit you would deal with in the first probably 6 months. I think that's when you'd have the majority of the major violence. But
all I'm hearing is get your own guns and make your own gang. That's all I'm hearing.
basically, the gang mentality, warlord mentality would become a major thing and probably a major way of survival, to be honest.
That's my plan.
Yeah. Strength in numbers. That's the name of the game at that point.
Yeah.
So, knowledge, I think. People who know what the hell they're doing would be protected assets. If you're somebody who's got a lot of like blue collar skills, maybe some medical training, even advanced medical training, and you know how to do it without modern technology. Also, if you have access to, like you were talking about, all the printed reference material, and you're smart enough maybe to understand what it is, what it says, how it has to be done, and the things you need to make the stuff. Somebody who's like a biochem student, essentially, would literally be a god among men if they could make antibiotics.
Put it this way. If the sum of your life experiences are you're a barista, you're fucked. As long as you have done something to where that's an actual marketable skill or some sort of blue collar work like you're talking about, you could at least do something and contribute. God help you if the best thing you've ever been is like a journalist. Like, sorry, you're done.
No. Yeah, you can't even throw shade on somebody that's like worked at McDonald's because at least they know how to cook food to some degree.
Yeah. If all you've done is yell at people to make your money, you're done. You are dinner.
Yeah. Thank God that means all those influencers in Los Angeles might actually go. Thank God.
Yes.
Oh no, the world without the Kardashians. Whatever will we do?
Yeah.
Oh, you.
Terrible.
That brings up a book, The Giver. Did you guys ever read that one?
Nope.
Yes.
Yeah, I knew you did, Gibbles. I wasn't sure if Gibbs ever had. When we were in school, we were required to read The Giver. And it was something that talked about a society that didn't have a lot of, technology. I think they eventually did or had access to it or something. But there were some people who were designated to live a life that was essentially like breeding stock.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's like the Mad Max universe thing.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
What worries me is that there are so many low IQ people out there running around that are having so many kids right now. I wonder if they would institute some kind of you must be this smart to breed policy.
No, because if the society collapses, you always need cannon fodder. If anything, it would be the opposite. It'd be
You're
we need
not
people
wrong.
to work the fields. We need people to grow crops. Like
You're
it'd be
not
the
wrong.
exact
Okay.
opposite. It would be they'd be looking at people weird, being like, "Why don't you have a bunch of kids?"
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Eugenics taking the leads.
Yeah.
Because again,
Well,
if
that's-
you're in that scenario where there's 80 to 90% mortality rate, and you're in that rebuilding process, especially, once you've gotten through that
It's a
initial
numbers
6-month phase, you need people. It's that simple.
Yep.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
But I would agree that
Definitely need only 82 IQ to do it.
it would be the people that are below that would be the concerning thing.
Yeah.
Is the people that aren't useful enough to do anything. It's like that would become an issue.
Yep.
But those people
Those
that
are the ones that will become tasty.
But for the people that are smart enough to be able to offer a lot, they will have options. Not a lot of them, but there will be options.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a weird world that we live in. But
Well, to be fair, I think civilization's always been weird. It's just now you're able to have access to all this information, know exactly how weird it is.
oh yeah.
Because for so long it was, things couldn't just happen to turn off everything.
Yeah,
That's something in the last
That's,
100 years. That's
that's a mindset that people have only gotten used to over the last few years. Well, not few, but few decades, we'll say. Always on mentality, and it really started, I think, with the introduction of broadband internet, because it was always on. Back then, we had the dial-up and that god-awful noise that will never leave my brain.
No.
But
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah, at some point you had to turn it off because somebody had to use the phone.
yeah. Get off the phone. Get off the internet. I need to make a call.
Well, too late now. You already knocked me off the call. You
Oh
bastard.
yeah. Those were the days.
All of a sudden you hear somebody pick up the phone through the modem.
Oh,
And
that
then you
modem
knew
noise.
immediately, well, there goes that download.
Oh, at like 98%, you spent 3 days trying to download that
Oh,
new
yeah.
MP3.
Don't miss those days.
Right.
no. I guess I remember my LimeWire days.
We all remember our LimeWire days. If you're old enough.
Yeah.
Also, rip to the 2 or 3 PCs that I absolutely fucking bricked with LimeWire. Served me well. Served me well.
Oh. Yeah.
The
The family computer that got all the porn pop-ups.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't know how those got on there.
One of them,
I ha-
I wish I knew how it did it, but one of them that I downloaded, it was supposed to be like, and judge me all you want, but it was supposed to be like a Nickelback, like best of whatever thing. And
Okay.
I downloaded it and I clicked play, and immediately all I heard on my computer was zzzp, and then done. I think it's somehow kernel changed the overclock or something on the CPU. I don't know how, because I could never recover anything from that computer. It was
Oof.
within a matter of like seconds.
So did it slide all the sliders to
Jesus.
the right?
Yeah, I now know who made it. We know who made it.
Wow.
Yes.
I worked at Circuit City, and yeah, I saw a PC that was so full of porn and just malware and everything. And the mom's standing there going, "Can you do something about my computer?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we'll take a look at it." Next day they come back after I call them, please come back and everything. The son's standing there as I'm going, "Ma'am, do you know what your son's been doing? I hate to be this guy, but
Oh,
Have
no.
have you used this program? No. Who else has access to the computer? My son. You might want to have a conversation with your boy."
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, those were the days.
Yeah. He was very well educated on what, what videos were out there. Let me tell you.
So, yeah,
Oh no.
a man of culture, huh?
Oh yeah, German Schneider porn, you know.
Oh, the German Scheiser porn of the 90s.
Oh, God.
Max Hardcore and all the rotten.com bullshit.
What
Yep.
has to go wrong in your life to where that's where you end up?
Not much back then.
Yeah.
It was
E-Bomb's
more
world.
Oh God. Break.com. Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
That site might even still be up. I don't know.
Yeah. It didn't take much to fall into the dark side of the internet back in the day when you went to like different places like that.
Oh
Hell,
yeah.
Newgrounds used to be kind of weird like that, you know,
Oh,
a
I
long
remember
time ago.
Newgrounds. God, Newgrounds and all their porn games.
Right? All you had to do
Yeah.
was say, "Yeah, I'm 18." Sure.
Back then, when you were young and, you know, it was just about trying to find a new way to get a nut. That's all it was. There was no safe word back then. I
No.
mean, it was all unkempt, untamed wilderness.
Yeah. If you wanted to find it, it was out there because
It just
the
took a little bit
government
of
hadn't
searching.
cracked it. Yeah, because the government and the ISPs didn't really crack down on anything at that point.
Oh no.
So
That's why you could download everything on Napster all week
Yeah.
long and not worry about it.
right. Until Lars from Metallica got pissy. Then,
Uh-huh.
you know,
Lars being a bitch, that fucked everyone.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
amazing how one guy from a famous rock band could screw it up for everybody.
Oh, yeah. The good old days. Which brings up another point,
So-
kids. Don't do crack.
I'm not sure where we went with that one,
You're
but
not-
okay.
You're not wrong.
just
Right?
a good thing, you know. No, this one had a typical segue into left field, like we're good at.
What?
Right?
No way.
That's like being on a beach somewhere and the guy's like, you want weed? No. How about some LSD? No. How about some heroin? Holy crap.
What kind of beaches do you go to?
Apparently the fun kind.
Jesus.
All right. And if you don't want that, we got girls that we can put on the jet ski with you, so you can do all sorts of stuff. No, I'm good. I swear to God.
What the hell are you?
There is a side of your life that we apparently don't know about.
Jesus Christ.
Where is this? Let's just go down to the Bahamas, man. You got to sneak onto some beaches. I must jet ski. Yes. Yeah. When I was much younger, I went to Nassau, and I don't know which place has the what is that? Atlantis Beach Resort or whatever it is. And the way it's supposed to be is the beaches are all public, but getting to the beach ends up being a lot of private property. So you have to find a way to get past the private property to get to the public beaches.
Gotcha.
And yeah, it felt like I was doing an Ocean 11 thing just to get to the beach. It was hilarious.
Nice. You know, that brings up a topic related point. The exodus off the country mainland to things like private islands, larger private ships, private boats, whatnot. What kind of viability do you think that's going to hold?
I mean, I think we all know that there's a certain island that had a previous owner named Jeffrey that's currently available.
Old
Oh,
Jeff's
yeah.
Island. That's available.
That's no one's there now. We can take over that.
Right? Nobody
You
wants to be
know-
there anymore.
You say no one's there, but There's been some drone video that showed a guy that looked an awful lot like him still there.
How has nobody just like gone onto that island at this point?
It's got a little blockade around it.
Yeah. They probably keeping it the way it is for evident. Yeah, probably for evidentially evidence. Yeah,
it's our politicians protecting them. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's why the list hasn't come out. Most of them are on it.
Yeah,
I mean, when you had President Biden, sitting there sniffing little girls' hair, and then old Trump talking about grabbing a woman by her, you know what?
Yeah,
all our politicians have issues.
That's one thing. The fall of society would be a good thing for all those people that are on those lists. Anybody that knows anything about them, buddy, they're in for it.
That's assuming that information get out and be made public. Because if the whole system goes down, then they're lost forever. That's the alternative.
Well, literally anybody that knows would probably just act. Like I said, people are only as good as society lets them be.
But at the same point, I think that a lot of people in politics are going to be like, yeah, I got to take care of my family. I'm not going to deal with this other politician that's a piece of shit. I'm going to go take care of my people.
No, anybody that's interested in doing stuff like that, government has a really good thing of keeping paper records as well as the electronic records when it comes to local municipalities. So if you're on a list somewhere, you don't want the power to go out because there's always going to be somebody going, you know what? Give him a gun. I'm going hunting. Those pedophiles going to die. There's going to be some retard like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a bounty hunt at that point.
Yep.
A societal collapse may not necessarily be a totally bad thing.
Well,
it would be a big reset on things. That's for sure.
Oh, absolutely, it would.
We would just have to hope it would be the whole world at the same time. Because if it isn't, then we get invaded and life is not good.
Well, then we just deal with other issues that are coming up.
Yeah, but the only countries that invade us are countries that we don't want invading us. So it's not like Canada's going to come down and say, welcome to Canada. That's not like that's going to happen.
No, you're right.
I don't know. The maple syrup people kind of dangerous when they want to be, though.
You're not wrong.
I mean, we do have the Geneva Conventions for a reason.
Geneva suggestions at that point, or otherwise known as the Geneva checklist.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, it doesn't exist if there's no country. So I mean,
exactly.
Can't break a law if there is no law.
Yep.
Oh yeah. It's only a war crime after the first time.
But Canada's 40 million people and we're like 300 million. Like there's no, even if we had everything gone, they still couldn't invade us.
No,
they're not even. The only countries that could are like China, Russia. Even China. I think Russia would struggle like hell. They can't even take over Ukraine. So
right. Yeah, Ukraine was supposed to be a 10-day exercise.
It's been a long
2 years now.
Yeah, it's been a long ass 10 days.
Yeah. Well, hey, it was 2 weeks to flatten the curve. Remember?
Yeah. Oh my god! Comrades, we better run! I hear a drone.
Oh, there's some new missile technology coming out. Very long range, very high payload, but very easy to engage from Ukraine's side. They're Ukrainian missiles, but they're like 3,000 kilometers on their range. I didn't think to look them up, but I just saw a thing on them the other day. They're being made from like leftovers.
Sounds about right.
They cost about $1 million a piece, so they're not sure how viable it is to do this. But which brings up another thing with still topic related, scavenging for resources and putting stuff like that together. The people that can make shit out of shit we mentioned the people that can make stuff with their hands. Let's take a darker turn for a second. The people that can make bad shit with their hands are also going to be highly valuable.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the way to look at it. If you're the first person in the area to get a working tank, congratulations, you have your own kingdom.
You are God.
You are now the king.
Fuck everybody else. You have a tank.
Yes. I have a tank. You don't. That's all it is.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy to think about? That means the killdozer would be king again. The rise of the killdozer.
Killdozer 2.0. I need it.
I know.
If you guys don't know, I absolutely love the killdozer. What he did was wrong, but I understand why he did it. So,
like,
rest ye merry soul, Marvin Heemeyer.
Yeah. And the best part was it wasn't like he was going out of way to hurt anybody either.
No.
He was just angry.
He was just taking out the property of the people that fucked him over. We should do an episode on the killdozer.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Vroom, vroom, baby.
That's a good one. Especially because there's a lot that went into that. There's a lot more.
Oh hell yeah!
Research.
Yeah.
Mm. I had it in the notes to talk about the live show again, and here we are at the end of this show, and I want to talk about it one more time.
Sure thing.
I'm never going to fucking bring it up at the beginning, apparently. But yeah, we are still planning a live show. I have confirmed with the owner of the local barcade. I guess I can give out some information. We're looking at Hadouken Barcade in Lancaster, Ohio.
Hadouken.
What is it? September 6th, Sunday, September 6th, I think it is.
For Labor Day weekend next year.
Yeah, Labor Day weekend. It'll be on the Sunday. That's the one we're planning for right now.
Yeah.
It'll be a live show. We're still trying to work out all the seating stuff. It might be an issue where tickets will be sold only for the seats, and then standing room free admission only after that. So we are having a get together with all of our Discord friends that same weekend. So there's going to be several of us in town already there. We'll have to have a discussion about whether we want to have these guys getting seats or just saving seats for other people or whatnot. So see who shows up.
If you can't pay for a seat, you can always give a donation to one of us for a drink.
Hell yeah. Yeah. That's the other thing. I'm talking with the owners. If you get a seat, you'll probably get a voucher for like a drink too. So,
ooh, they got some good drinks there. So
it was fun.
Yeah, yeah. It's a new establishment. They have a lot of retro style arcade games. Lots of really cool stuff. The atmosphere is very
rubber ducky bag.
Very awesome. Yeah, the rubber ducky drink you had. That was nice.
Yes.
Well, that way we can all hang out there for the day, do the live show, have some fun, but also leave enough time that we can all hang out for a little bit, shoot the shit, have some discussions, meet some people.
Yep. We want to set it up so that we have time for, pre-show meet and greet, do the show, post-show meet and greet, sit down, bullshit, have a couple drinks with people, and then, hang out at the bar for a little bit, get our shit packed up, and then get out. Because the nice thing is, even though it's a Sunday, most people are still going to be off on that Monday because Labor Day. That's why we're choosing that day. So,
hell yeah! So you can still come out, drink, and not worry about work the next day.
Yep. So more information on that will come available as we get more things put together. But as of right now, that's where we're sitting and what we're looking at. But we're very excited. We also have. I'm not saying any of the details yet. We are working. I'm not saying who yet, but I am going to go ahead and say what if you guys are okay with that.
Sure, I trust you. You do your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did land our first sponsorship deal. I'm not going to say with who yet, but that's a big step for us. I never thought that we would get a sponsorship deal, especially this early on, but we did. It is a fairly easy going company to get a sponsorship deal with, but they still do have a baseline set of requirements. So we did at least meet those. We have to meet our side of the obligation. And that means we're going to try the stuff, because we're not going to say, hey, try this if we didn't try it. So we're going to do that first. And once we do, then we'll do that side. Also, we are no, it's not Raid Shadow Legends. My God,
Shadow Legends.
I'm so glad that's no longer like a massive thing on YouTube anymore. I got sick of that. So
tired. If you watch the video segment of the episode, you've noticed Baggy up here in the corner. We are going to be trying to push out some stuff with Baggy on it. Hopefully that comes along sooner rather than later. But if you guys like that design, if you like the stuff with Mansley on it, let us know and we can get some stuff out with him on it as well. But we are actively working on a merch side. I never thought we would have merch, but hey, we're going to have merch because fuck yeah.
Everybody has merch, so you might as well.
Right?
Well, the thing is, we were looking at, as a joke, we wanted to make something that was kind of funny, but honestly, Baggy's kind of grown on all of us. It was like a happy accident. And,
yes. Just like me.
But definitely let us know how you guys feel about that, as well as, so at the beginning of the videos, I've been giving some teasers. So we have Mansley doing a few different things, and they're teasing different episodes and different discussions we have coming up. If you could, I'll give bonus points to whoever can figure out some of the topics coming up just with the video.
Oh yeah.
You know, that would be awesome. I think some of them you can figure it out. Some of them there's no way. But it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
So yeah, let us know what y'all think of all the stuff we got going on. When the live show hits, we absolutely want to see as many people there that can make it. I do realize that it's a bit of a road trip for some people. And if this one is successful, we will plan road trips and live shows in other cities. That's how the whole live show thing happens. The first one's got to be a successful one. We need to show or have the support to show that this is what people want to see. So,
and we're already purposely looking into topics and getting things worked on, and we're going to do our best effort to make this. It's going to be a blast.
Yeah,
it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
sit, be like,
yeah,
we're gonna have a good time.
We'll pop in there, and I had the thought, because we have had discussions where so much shit has come true. I thought about getting like that little chanting music going on, and we just walk up onto the stage in the big brown robes and just, like the Franciscan monks or whatever,
Yeah.
Because we are essentially prophets with the amount of shit we've talked about that has come to pass at this point.
Yeah. But
so yeah, this will be a good time.
But the fat American prophets over here. I don't like. We can.
Yes, I like it. Fat American prophets.
I'm gonna put an envelope to my head, just like late show, and just be like, things that make people go.
Yes.
And I appreciate in chat with Wookiee saying World of War tanks, Gibbs going to be a tank commander. If I could ever get a sponsorship where I could work with them, that would be it. That'd be my life complete. That is the highest level possible of sponsorship.
Yes. World tanks. Absolutely. Be made into a commander? Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that'd be scary though. Why did that penetrate? That hurts. Stop. Make it stop.
Oh God, no.
Please, sir, don't touch me there. That is my no-no square.
Oh, we lost again. Oh no.
Oh God.
God, that would. Oh, I get in so much trouble though.
Oh yeah. And now that I've got shit just Zoidberging around in my head, I not that fat American. The fat American prophet thing is just dancing around in my head.
Fap squad.
Let me hear that fap. Oh, got to get some of that fap.
my God.
We're gonna fap all over you.
I've been cranking up.
Gonna crank that hog, get you some fap.
Oh my God.
Oh, I'm on it tonight. But all right, folks. Like we said earlier, just make a plan, get yourself stocked up, and try not to die when the shit hits the fan.
That's good advice. Try not to die.
Try not to die.
You know, that's solid life advice.
But also, don't turn down the dark meat when it's provided to you.
I mean, whatever you're into.
On that note, y'all have a good time. We'll see you next episode. Love y'all. Peace the fuck out. Holy shit.
Yo.